Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of things that are happening around the world, and in India, in Goa, there is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting that is happening. A few things have also taken place outside of India. We'll deal with all that in this episode today. Hi, I'm Major Gaurav Arya, and I welcome you to Checkmate. So Bilawal Bhutto, his visit to India has been widely covered by the Indian media, and the Indian media is saying that some sections are saying we are expecting a breakthrough, and some sections are saying that we are not expecting a breakthrough. And I'll tell you what I am expecting. Dr. Jaishankar has already said that terrorism is something that India will not tolerate and the world must condemn, especially cross-border terrorism. So when India says cross-border terrorism, it means Pakistan, because Pakistan is the country that is doing cross-border terrorism. And I think the Indian Foreign Office has pretty much decided that it's going to be a bare-knuckle fight with Pakistan. Wherever the Pakistanis go, they will be confronted with this word terror, terrorism, terror financing, terror state, unstable, politically chaotic terror state, and what have you. These terms will be thrown at Pakistanis everywhere, because all these terms are true, by the way. They are not something that the Indian Foreign Office has made up or something that Dr. Jaishankar has thought up. This is Pakistan. It is a terror state. And this is exactly what Dr. Jaishankar has said. Terrorism, we cannot condone, we cannot say that it's okay, it's business as usual, especially cross-border terrorism. Now, I'm recording this, and I'm not yet, I've not seen Bilawal Bhutto's response to this. So by the time this comes out and by the time you see this episode, Bilawal would have responded with the same thing, that there are human rights violations in Kashmir, and the minorities in India, especially Muslims, are under threat, etc., etc. Now, I just want to say a couple of things. First of all, what Dr. Jaishankar says, the world listens to. What Pakistan says, nobody listens to. I mean, the entire cabinet, the entire Pakistani cabinet, and all their chiefs, Army, Navy and Air Force, could have together come to Goa, and it would not have made an iota of difference to the world, because, you see, Pakistan keeps on asking money from the entire world. They ask for aid, for loans, begging for financial support, and the world does not hence take Pakistan seriously. In case of Dr. Jaishankar, he's very clear, and Prime Minister Modi is very clear, because foreign policy flows from the top. It flows from the office of the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, and he's very, very clear that Pakistan, because of its sins in India and in Kashmir, not just related to Kashmir. I mean, 26/11 was Pakistan's doing. The parliament attack was Pakistan's doing. So the Pakistani ISI, the various terror outfits, and this is the reason why Pakistan has been multiple times in the FATF grey list. Only last year it was brought out of the grey list, and it was this thing was whitelisted, if I may use that word, which may not be an appropriate nomenclature, but whitelisted, just to explain it to you. But there is a time when Pakistan will go into the blacklist if they don't stop their activities. So this is exactly what Dr. Jaishankar is saying at the SCO. He's just said, I don't know what Bilawal's response is going to be, but as I said earlier, it's going to be more of the same: Kashmir, minorities, etc. I just want to say something. Pakistanis are very, very concerned about Indian Muslims. And obviously in a country of 140 crores, 1.4 billion, 1.5 billion. Now, according to some estimates, India is the most populous country on earth. There is bound to be friction. Like, for example, there is currently friction in Manipur. Now, it has got nothing to do with Hindus and Muslims. It's friction because the Meitei community has been granted the scheduled tribe status by a decree of the court, and the hill tribes don't like it, and there is a clash between the two communities. Nothing to do with Hindu Muslims. There are language problems in India. It is bound to occur in a country as large and as diverse in India, with various shades of political opinion. And we are a very opinionated people, we are a very emotional people, and these things happen, condemnable though they are, but they happen. I mean, this is a reality. Not that it can shake India. Things will get back to normal in Manipur, hopefully, very soon. My point here is that, Pakistan is being isolated, and a large part of that isolation is India's doing. Pakistan deserves it. Also, like, Pakistan has been quoting in their media that India helped Sri Lanka. India stood guarantee, or as a guarantor, for Sri Lankan's loans from the IMF, which the Pakistanis said they could not get. India gave approximately $4 billion to Sri Lanka. So all these things, that are happening, to Sri Lanka and other countries around, we've given assistance to Bangladesh, we've given assistance to Bhutan, to Myanmar, to every country except Pakistan, and Pakistan resents this, and understandably so. But Pakistan must stop terror, and this is India's one-point agenda on SCO. At least that is the, what it looks like to me. And this is what India has done, put Pakistan again in a corner. And Pakistan must understand one thing. They'll keep on doing this. I'm talking about the Indians. They'll keep on doing this again and again and again unless Pakistan publicly commits to stopping terror in all its forms and handing over the people, including Hafiz Saeed, including Dawood Ibrahim, including Maulana Masood Azhar, including Sayyid Salahuddin, and so many others, 10, 15, 20 of them, who have committed heinous crimes in India and are living very luxurious lives in Pakistan, protected by the ISI, protected by the deep state. Unless that happens, this will simply continue. And this has become institutionalized. A lot of Pakistanis think that it is because of the Modi effect, right? Modi, though he's wildly popular, the most popular leader, 20 years from now, 10 years from now, he may not be the Prime Minister of the country. Obviously, somebody younger will take over. But at the same time, I think the benchmark has been set at such a level. If there is an Odi, there will be a surgical strikes. If there is a Pulwama, there will be a Balakot. The benchmark has been set so high that any other political leader from any party, will always be held to account against that benchmark. And this is going to be a serious problem for Pakistan, because Pakistan will be held to account. They did Punch very recently and we lost 5 of our soldiers, we lost 5 of our brothers. If anybody thinks that India is going to take this lying down, they're very sadly mistaken. There will be repercussions, there will be cost and consequences, but at an appropriate time. Maybe when the G20 summit is over, maybe when the SU summit is over, there will be a sharp message to Pakistan. And I'm thinking that that message will be kinetic in nature, not non-kinetic in nature. So, friends, this is what I have currently from the SU summit, Also, Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, has met with Bilawal Bhutto, and the noise that is coming out from the Pakistani Foreign Office is very surprising. The kind of statements that have come out from the Pakistani Foreign Office, that Bilawal Bhutto met the Russian foreign minister and they spoke about peace and stability in the region. I mean, I find this funny. Pakistan is the last nation on earth which should be talking about peace and stability. Pakistan has nothing to do with peace or with stability. Second thing, they said that, energy security. There is no energy security as far as Pakistan-Russia are concerned. Pakistan wants to buy cheap oil from Russia, not because of any other reason, but because India bought cheap oil. That is Pakistan's reason for buying oil from Russia. Plus, Pakistan does not have the dollars to pay for it, and Russia will not accept Pakistani rupees because Pakistani currency is pretty much junk. So what Pakistan is going to do is go kowtow, beg in front of China, get Chinese money, borrow from China, pay Russia, get Russian oil, so that Shehbaz Sharif, has something to say during the elections. And it's all because of electioneering. There is nothing else. It's not that they are buying Russian oil, in spite of sanctions on Russia, they are buying Russian oil because they want to do good to their people, or good for their people for that matter. No, that's not true. What they want to do is score brownie points against Imran Khan, because the elections are due this year. August, September, October, November, December, whenever the elections happen. This is one main point, because Imran Khan has been saying this for a long time, Imran Khan started this whole thing that, on 22nd of February last year, he landed up in Russia. And he said that, and 23rd or 22nd, one of these days he landed up in Russia and he said that it's a very exciting time to be here, which was an undiplomatic statement to make. Immediately Russia invaded Ukraine. And Imran Khan stood there looking like a fool because the world said that you're supporting the invasion, which may not have been true, but that's how it looked to the entire world. Now, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, is that Russia is going to supply oil to Pakistan, and maybe in the month of May, 3rd, 4th week, the oil lands up in Karachi, which it will. But there are two things that the Pakistani government has not disclosed to the people of Pakistan. Number one, what is the price that they're paying per barrel? And number two, in which currency are they paying for this oil? My guess is Chinese. My guess is Chinese because Pakistani currency, as I said, is pretty much tissue paper. Nobody takes Pakistan seriously or its currency seriously. Pakistan will have to borrow because the Russians are very clear, we'll accept the currency of any friendly country. It's not going to be Afghan currency. It can't be Indian currency because India will not give it to Pakistan. The only exception or the only logical route for Pakistan is Chinese currency, which is why the Pakistani army chief also very recently, last week, he went to Beijing, and wherever the army chief goes, Saudi Arabia, UAE, UK, it's only to ask for funds, and obviously he's gone there to ask for funds. We'll come to know in a few weeks' time. Now, what also has happened is, in Pakistan, there has been a lot of killing recently. What Pakistan has done, unfortunately, is extremely short-sighted. Their politics is not of any stature altogether. It's a very low-level kind of politics that happens in Pakistan. So what's happened in Pakistan is that, terrorists from across, militants from across the border from Afghanistan have come. They killed 7. Within last 24 hours, 7 Pakistani army people have died and 7 teachers have been killed by terrorists in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So 14 to 15 people have died, and this killing continues on a daily basis. And Pakistan has not learnt its lessons. Pakistan has shut its border with India, a $3.5 trillion economy, the 5th largest country in the world in terms of GDP, perhaps the country with, according to many estimates, the country with the largest population in the world. Pakistan has shut its door because of Kashmir to India, but keeps its door to Afghanistan open, which suits India just fine. Now, this is what I want. And I don't know whether Bilawal will do it or not do it. I'm not sure because by the time, but my sensing is that Bilawal will respond to, Foreign Minister Jaishankar. He will have to respond to Foreign Minister Jaishankar, and I hope that Bilawal takes up the issue of Kashmir. It's very important that Bilawal take, on the issue of Kashmir. This is exactly what Shah Mahmood Qureshi of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and the former Foreign Minister of Pakistan told media persons, when it was clear that Bilawal had landed in India. This was something that he said, that this is a unique opportunity to rake up bilateral issues, and he must take full advantage of it, and he must hold India to account for human rights violations and Muslims in India and the Kashmir issue and the water issue. Now, this whole water issue is slightly boring for me, ladies and gentlemen. There is an agreement, India does not agree with it, but till the time, the World Bank agrees, Pakistan agrees, India agrees, nobody, it can't be unilateral. India is not going to shut out the tap one day. At least I don't think they will. That's my estimate. But Kashmir and terrorism are far, far more interesting than the flow of water. Now, what Bilawal Bhutto should do is rake up the Kashmir issue. It's very important that Bilawal Bhutto rake up the Kashmir issue. He should say that Pakistan stands with, Kashmir. He should rake up the issue of Islamophobia globally. He should rake up the issue of human rights violations in India, especially Indian Muslims. He must take up all these things, and I'll tell you why I'm saying this as an Indian. You may be surprised. But I tweeted about this, and the reason why I'm saying this is simple. I want, and I'm being very honest here, I want the relationship between India and Pakistan to be damaged beyond repair. I want it at a point where there is no comeback. This is what I want. Pakistan has already pushed India. You see, a lot of people say that you're a warmonger and you are against peace. And to them, I have only one statement to give. It's if you're talking about peace, then I don't think your brothers' names are written in the National War Memorial. I have no forgiveness in my heart for what Pakistan has done. I, as an Indian citizen, have no forgiveness for 26/11, for the parliament attacks, for Pulwama, for Uri, for Varanasi, for the Akshardham Mandir attacks, for the 1993 bomb blast in which Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar was involved, and for hundreds and hundreds of terror attacks all over India. I have no forgiveness for Kashmir. I have no forgiveness for terrorism in Punjab, this whole so-called Khalistan issue. I have no forgiveness. And the more Pakistan is cornered, the more Pakistan will realize that it becomes impossible, it will become impossible for Pakistan to survive without India. Let me tell you, this map is going to be a map of Pakistan which shows all 4 of Pakistan's neighbors, right? Immediate neighbors. So, one neighbor is China, the other is Afghanistan. Towards the east, they have India, and towards the southwest, they have Iran. And Balochistan, the province, the largest landmass in Pakistan is of Balochistan, and a significant part of Balochistan is also in Iran. Now, let's go over this country by country and why Pakistan is in such a precarious position. The Americans have moved out of Afghanistan, and in the near future, nobody wants to go to Afghanistan, which means the dollars have stopped coming into Pakistan because the dollars always came from America in one way or the other. Now, America has lost interest in this region, at least for the now. America realizes that the main enemy, the main adversary, once this Ukraine-Russia war ends, the main adversary is China. This is something that America understands very well. And America's national security doctrine says pretty much the same thing. Now, so Pakistan has 4 neighbors. One is China, which Pakistan calls its best friend. And China has been giving Pakistan loan after loan, but nobody knows the truth about those loans. Nobody knows the exact amount of money that China has given to Pakistan, how much money it has invested, what are the terms and conditions against which this loan has been given to Pakistan, what is the interest that the Pakistani people are paying, what is the return on investment on Chinese investment through the China-Pakistan economic corridor. Nobody knows. And that is the beauty of the China-Pakistan economic corridor. It is absolutely opaque. So one danger to Pakistan is from China. Now, let's look at Afghanistan. I mentioned a little while earlier, every day terrorists from Afghanistan come, they kill Pakistanis and they go back either to their own tribal areas within Pakistan or go back to Afghanistan where their wives and their kids live. Second is Afghanistan. The third is Iran, which is under sanctions, and America is, pretty clear that whichever country deals with Iran will also be sanctioned, especially if it's a country like Pakistan with no backbone at all. So they're pressurizing Pakistan a lot, right? And Pakistan will not do it. And India, Pakistan has voluntarily on itself closed doors with India. So Pakistan is a country that has negligible exports. Whatever comes in shape of dollars into Pakistan is either in the form of remittances, which is the largest thing, remittances. A lot of overseas Pakistanis will send dollars to their family members and for monthly expenses, etc., or their whatever they want to buy in Pakistan. They'll send dollars over. And this is how Pakistan manages to survive because Pakistani exports are negligible. There is nothing almost that Pakistan has invented or manufactured or something that Pakistan is good at, apart from terrorism. And, imports, that country survives on imports. Funny, a country with 70% of the population engaged in agriculture imports food grains. So that's Pakistan for you. Not only is Pakistan a terror state, it is also incompetent and corrupt, inefficient also. So this is where Pakistan stands. As long as Pakistan does the same thing that it has been doing, A, supporting corruption, B, electing a corrupt elite to power, C, waking up every morning without a plan and going to work without a plan, 4, continuous relationship with China, which some Pakistanis think it's a great idea because they are direct beneficiaries of Chinese money at a personal level. At a personal level, not at a state level, because no Pakistani has been able to prove to me that Chinese investments in Pakistan, which stand at about $50 billion US, have done anything positive for Pakistan. And the reason I'm saying this is simple. You see, a country that has benefited from $50 billion US is going to IMF, begging IMF for $1 billion. How is that possible? How is it even possible that a country that has been a beneficiary to such large-scale investment from China is begging for $1 billion? It defies imagination. Unless Pakistan opens up its borders with India, Pakistan can never prosper. Because Pakistan is geographically in that location. It can never prosper on its own. Never. And this SEO summit brings me great hope because I have been an advocate for no contact with Pakistan for a very long time. I have nothing against the people of Pakistan, absolutely, because I don't know them. So I cannot consider them my enemy in any sense of that word. But yes, the Pakistani deep state, the Pakistani establishment, their army, their ISI, certainly, these are criminal organizations and they need to be punished. And in fact, it's unfortunate that the entire Pakistan will get punished because of them, but so be it. Now, coming back to the point, Dr. Jaishankar says, terrorism, a big no, and cross-border terrorism, an absolute no. By the time you see this, Bilawal Bhutto would have, responded. But Bilawal Bhutto has nothing new to say. And even if he did, Pakistan as a nation has no credibility. Nobody takes Pakistan seriously. Right? I don't even know what Bilawal is doing right now in Goa. For all you know, he must be contacting various foreign ministers, asking them for money, begging for money. It's very possible that Bilawal Bhutto would have been doing it on the sidelines. He said there's going to be a dinner and we're going to meet each other and, we'll eat food and we'll be together and I'll have bilaterals with various people. No bilaterals. Bilaterals is in the sense, two people. Bilaterals would be about give and take. What will Pakistan, give to the world? For example, what is Pakistan going to give to Russia? What? What is Pakistan going to give to China or to India or to any of the Stan states who have come, Central Asian republics? What is Pakistan in a position to give to the world? What does Pakistan make? What is Pakistan an expert in? I'm not talking about terrorism here. Keep that aside. Apart from that, what has Pakistan been able to give to the world so far in the past, and what does Pakistan hope to give the world in the future? This is something that needs further discussion. You've heard about this drone attack which happened on the Kremlin. The truth will come out maybe one day. I took a look at that drone. It's a commercial drone. It was rigged with explosives. And it was rigged with something incendiary. Because whenever a plastic explosive goes off, there isn't any fire. And I've seen it tens of times. I've done it personally myself. Whenever a grenade goes off for that matter, there is no fire. Unless, of course, there is something which can be burnt, which is close by. And if that catches fire, then otherwise, in itself, it's just an explosion, which causes a lot of damage. Now, this drone this is a commercial drone. A lot of people are confused. Where is this drone coming from? Have the Ukrainians done it? Sure, they could have done it. I'm not denying the fact. But it's also very possible, and I think it's absolutely true, that the drone was flying or was flown, the base unit of the drone was within 2 to 3 kilometers of the Kremlin. Because it's a commercial drone. It can't fly all the way from Ukraine and come over to Russia. There are hundreds of miles. It's not possible for such a small drone to fly. Maybe 3-4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, that's it. 10 kilometers, if you have a latest version, which I don't know about, but not more than that, certainly. So somebody was controlling that drone from within Moscow. Could have been some Ukrainians, I don't know. Could have been Russians who don't like Putin. Could have been Russians who are mixed up with Ukrainians. But the Kremlin is saying that it is the United States of America which has done it. I don't think so. I don't think so that the US would go to such an extent as to directly target President Putin. They won't do that because they know how Russia reacts. So let us see what the future holds in terms of the Russia-Ukraine war. It has just taken a very strange twist for the now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Checkmate. I'll catch you again next week with another episode. Till then, have a great weekend. Jai Hind.